Hello everybody, this is Master Cloud, and I am back with another cast of The Lord of the Rings, The Rise of the Witch King. Today is going to be an exciting 2v2. I am told this is a pro 2v2, so I'm really excited to see these player strategies, see this play. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the game, introduce the players. Spawning in the upper left-hand side is going to be MauHuR. We're just going to call him Mau because that's going to be easier for me. So Mau is going to be spawning as Mordor. Looks like he's going to be going for a quick slaughterhouse and orc pit. In the upper right is going to be his partner, the Boob. And tehboohb here is going to be spawning as goblins. Now I believe this is a 1k game. Yes it is. So this is a 1k game here. And then spawning in the lower right hand side, we do have Dragon spawning as Agmar, going for two quick farms, and then going to be throwing down that Hall of the Kings. No, actually a third watermill, and then throwing down the Hall of the King's Men. So a little bit more of an economic build. And his partner, Isengard, going for looks like two farms, and then the clan setting. And Isengard is going to be played by ProReaper. Now we did see the bats there being used by, I'm assuming, the goblins. So go ahead and scout out his opponents, figure out exactly what his opponents are going, what they are, as I assume this is going to be a random, everyone's random, and it is a 1k game. So we'll have to see what these players' strategies are as they get underway. We see we see a second Hall of the King's Men already. Now it looks like Mordor are going to be putting his buildings very close together here. I'm assuming this is so that it's harder for units to get a surround on him. Now it looks like he did just go for the regular orc warriors here. And as they move out, they might run into some wildmen, but they might have... Actually, this furnace here might actually be just far enough away from the fortress where they can start to get a hit on, or start to take it down without the fortress being in range. So this first group of wildmen here now out on the field, but he does spot these orcs immediately, and it's going to send those wildmen to deal with it. The bats come out as well to weaken that because he does not want to lose this furnace yet, and this furnace is just a little bit too far away from the fortress here. The wildmen are going to be able to get around the backside though, and with that I think they might be able to save this, but it's actually going to be pretty close. We'll have to come back and check on that in a moment. The goblins spamming as well here. We have several goblin caves, 1, 2, 3. The third one is on the way. Agmar just using the regular Gudabad warriors here, and going to be trying to apply some pressure with those. A third group of Gudabad warriors down here chasing the goblins, but most of his, he doesn't have any exterior farms at this point. And those first orcs not able to take out that furnace, so a great save there from Reaper, able to hold them off. The goblins continuing to put pressure here on Agmar, but for the most part it looks like he's going to be able to save almost all of his mines, and probably most of his troops. So a great job here by Dragon to sort of hold those off. Dragon's bow. Meanwhile, Agmar are attempting to do the same thing to Boob here, but Boob, I think, is going to be able to hold this off. I think he has enough troops here with the fortress, and so many more troops on the way right now. Three units about to come out as well. So I don't see Agmar doing a lot of damage here. Maybe taking out a couple of troops, but no serious damage in terms of infrastructure. Now we do have a couple wildmen just standing around here. Reaper needs to get these on the move, but archers are now out for the Mordor player. And with those archers and the orcs in the front, he's going to be able to deal a lot of damage to these wildmen. I think before they can deal any damage to him, canceling that mine there, as he doesn't want to have the resources stolen from him by the wildmen, which of course do steal resources as they attack structures. These archers are going to get surrounded though. A second group shows up, going to be working on those wildmen. A third group of orcs now showing up here to stand in front to be the meat shield for these archers. And Reaper and Mau here having an intense battle in the center. I think Mau has enough units here, and with the terrain bonus, I think he's going to be able to hold this off. And with that, pushing back Reaper's forces, yeah, Reaper is going to be pulling back his archers. Does not want to lose those sort of expensive units. Now, meanwhile, we do have a huge attack here by Agmar in the front, able to take out all three of the goblin mines. The goblins were, I guess, around the backside dealing with that distraction, and able to run in a ton of troops up here and take out all of these structures Agmar has so many units here, and he's going to be able to get a surround on this as well. Spider Riders attempting to come out, but even if they come out, they're going to be surrounded immediately by these forces. The Fortress gets a good kill there by shooting down, of course, the leader of the pack, killing off the entire pack. These spiders need to engage this immediately, and actually he's going to be having them use their bows to attempt to take out this guy, but I don't think it's going to be fast enough. And Boob here absolutely needs to actually, wow, an amazing job there, able to go ahead and save that. There's a group of wildmen up here, but I think the Spider Riders are going to be able to deal with that. Meanwhile, there was a little skirmish here between Reaper and Isengard, or Reaper and Mao again, but it looks like it's going to be a sort of a stalemate, and both players are going to back off for a moment. Haradrim Lancers actually coming out here for Mordor, I assume to deal with some of either the Wildmen or the archers, as there is no pikemen on the field, so those Haradrim Lancers are going to be extremely effective. Meanwhile, Agmar able to sneak in one more group here of pikemen this time, and that's going to keep the Goblin Spider Riders at bay. So Mao here in a lot of trouble. Now Isengard is moving up as well, sending 3 units, and they are, I assume, going to be focusing, I would assume the Goblin Cave, but he might actually go for the mine here. No, I don't think he needed to cancel that, but he's going to do it anyways. And with that, of course, grabbing the resources, the main reason he did that is to prevent the stealing of resources. Actually, these are Wildman axe throwers, though, not the Wildmen, so I don't actually know if Wildman axe throwers go ahead and steal resources. Let's see. I don't think so. But either way, doesn't want to lose those buildings, so we'll go ahead and cancel them. Now, we do have a huge attack here from Mordor. He doesn't have a lot of high-value units here, just a bunch of low-value ones. And I think most of Isengard's regular troops should be able to handle this if he gets enough out onto the field. Throws down the war chant there. These Uruk-hai need to come out of the defensive mode, I think, in order to battle these guys, to get there faster. And looks like with the bats overhead, yeah, and the war chant, these guys are going to be doing extremely well. Agmar coming in from the backside now as well, and able to run through all of those units. And I think Mordor's attack here has been held off quite convincingly. Meanwhile, we do have a couple of Agmar units up in the top left, able to sneak by somehow, and are going to find an additional mine. A couple of units of goblins going to be engaging them, but not nearly fast enough, and he's going to have to cancel that mine. Azog, now out for the goblin player, able to cancel enough buildings that he's actually somehow saved up enough money to get out Azog. He does still have that unit of Spider Riders out as well. They are going to be able to take out one mine here, dealing some nice damage to it before actually getting killed. However, Agmar has so many troops out on the field that he's going to be able to overrun almost all of these units. Azog is in there somewhere. I just have no idea where. Actually, he's out here on the outside, but more pikemen coming now, and Azog has seen his last fight, I believe, as these guys with the Wolf Riders in here able to easily chase him down. And he needs to get to his Goblin Warriors or turn and fight. Looks like he is going to turn and fight now, and then decides to rerun away. I don't think he can make it out of here, though. There's just too many units, and they're too fast, and Azog is going to fall to these Wolf Riders. So a sad ending to Azog there for the Goblins. Spend a lot of time trying to get him out. Meanwhile, a huge battle. Isengard pushing back now that they held off the attack on their base, and has a huge group right outside the front of the Goblins' base here. I think he's fighting in the wrong area, though. He's fighting right where the land bonus is for Mordor, and Reaper needs to back up his troops and engage at a different location. As the Mordor player is just doing way more damage than he really should be. The axe throwers are getting some nice hits in, able to take out a majority of those archers in the back, but being so close to his fortress, Mordor is able to reinforce this army almost immediately as the units come out and basically go directly into battle. And I don't think Isengard is going to be able to hold on long enough here to wait for reinforcements. Does have a couple of units showing up, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Actually, Lurt's finally now out on the field, level 2 as well. Over on the right-hand side, Mao still trying to deal, or I'm sorry, Boob still trying to deal with sort of some of the Agmar troops around the backside of his base here. He's lost several more mines in the back, has basically 2 mines, 3 mines, and 3 goblin caves, and that is it. Might be working on getting Azog back out, but is able to actually finally clean up these units here, and will stabilize for a moment. However, he has a huge group of Agmar Gundabad warriors here coming through the front. They actually just ignore the front mine here, and I guess they're going to be going straight for, it looks like, the goblin layers. We'll see if they actually make it up there with the fortress here doing some significant damage and all of these additional goblins pouring out. If they're actually able to take some of these out, I think they will be able to get a great surround there, and I believe that goblin cave is going to go down. Does have one on this side with more goblins coming. But yeah, he's going to lose both of those goblin caves to that attack right there. And once again, Boob in a lot of trouble. And yes, Isengard did lose the fight over on the north-hand side here, right outside of MauH's base. He has pulled back. Lurt's now up to level 3, almost level 4. Wormtongue is going to be coming out as well. And this is a really close battle here on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, able to actually deal with all of those troops. That is a sacrifice you make when focusing those buildings. You do often lose your troops at a very cost or at a non-cost efficient way. Isengard here going to be moving up around the side. Let's see if this steals resources here. No, it does not. So there is no stealing resources on those axe throwers. Nevertheless, he is going to be using them. And this group is moving up around the side, continuing to deal damage. I think he's trying to prevent Mordor from getting too heavily farmed here, because once Mordor gets a lot of money, they can start pumping out really high value units, such as the Nazgul, such as the Foul Beasts, such as Mouth of Sauron, heroes like that, which can be really dangerous and really effective at dealing counterattack damage and stuff like that. Now, we do throw the land bonus down here, so I think that Mordor is going to have the advantage. Of course, the Isengard does have the crow bonus here, and that is going to decrease that Mordor bonus, and I think Isengard is going to win this battle here. However, once again, he's fighting right outside the base of Mordor, and these forces are going to be very quickly reinforcing. Would love to see Mordor get out a hero. Mouth of Sauron, Gothmog even, would be a decent hero, in my opinion, in this case. Is going to lose an additional mine. But with all of these orcs here in the front, I think he's going to have enough to hold off this attack here. Lurtz and Wormtongue might be here for a while, but look at how much damage these guys take when they're in defensive mode. Finally going to be losing those. Third group of archers out now as well. With the heroes here, might be able to stay and do damage for a little while, but actually these axes do a ton of damage to building. Lurtz going into his rage mode, going to be taking out that orc pit there and continuing to work on some of the troops here. Of course, the fortress is in range of a lot of these units now. And Agmar showing up here as well to launch a huge attack on Mordor. Didn't even see all of these troops coming. He's going to be summoning a ton of Gundabad warriors, and they are going to be engaging absolutely everything around here. Mordor getting a little scared here. They're going ahead and building a Gatewatchers expansion along the back side here. On the left-hand side, Isengard has backed out. I think a huge mistake. His partner is engaging here on the right-hand side, and he has gone ahead and backed out. Now realizing it, going to be moving back in, but by this time, Mordor has cleaned up the units on the left and is now can re-engage him along the right side. We do have Saruman out as well for Reaper now, as he has really gone for a ton of heroes here. Saruman getting a little ahead of himself there, a little ahead of his troops. Needs to use that Wizard Blast on some of these archers, but I think he's taking too much damage by accident there, and with that he's going to have to fall back. They want to get out of range of this furnace, out of range of the fortress, and pull some of these goblin units a little bit farther away from the fortress because of he also has the pyres here, the burning pyres on top of the fortress, which of course grants leadership bonus to nearby units. So I think that's a smart choice of him to back up there. Agmar, a couple of units along the backside yet, but nothing that's going to be significant enough to, significantly scare Mordor here. He's just going to send a couple of units north, I think leaving these for defense in case Isengard makes an additional attack. We do have a bats here flying around the backside, I'm assuming by the Goblin player. He's scouting out for mines. Where can I attack? Where are his weaknesses? And with that, he has a huge group of goblins here moving out. I do not see Azog in there again. is going to be finding this mine. I'd actually get the builder here. That would be a really nice win if he can go ahead and take out that builder. And yes, he does. So that's a great win there for the Goblins. Able to come back a little bit. He is going to be having a little trouble with Agmar, excuse me, coming around the backside here now. And is he going to pull back any troops? He's going to pull back. Yeah, Azog is out again, almost level 2. Actually has Mountain Giants out as well. A great siege unit. And with that, I think he's going to engage Agmar here. War Chant goes down though, and Agmar's other, the wind spell, Fell Wind goes out, and this is going to be a huge battle. Azog is in here, but can he deal enough damage? The Mountain Giant in the back dealing a nice amount of damage himself. If he can focus down some of these troops, yes, takes out almost an entire unit there of the axe throwers. This Mountain Giant just doing tons of damage. Very well played here by the Goblins. I think he might actually have a chance in this battle. Able to take out additional full units of Agmar by focusing that rear, the Thrall Master. Now it looks like Saruman here going to be using his Wizard Blast. Goes up to level, actually Wormtug going up a level with that. And Saruman not quite up to level 2. Needs to get up to level 2 to be able to use that Fireball attack. We'll try to engage a couple units here on the side. But I think Mordor once again has too many troops for Isengard. Although Isengard bringing up reinforcements, this time we are a little bit farther away from the reinforcements from the Mordor fortress. So the reinforcements for Isengard showing up a little bit faster than expected here. And I think he might actually have enough. Finally, MauHuR Sauron coming out here. But of course, Lurt's already on the field up to level 6. He's just going to cripple shot him immediately. Needs to throw Lurtz into that, toggle his weapon, and focus down MauHuR Sauron. Actually going to be having Saruman and maybe the Berserker here focus him. He needs to put Lurtz into his other mode right now, though, and use the Carnage ability to take out MauHuR Sauron as he is crippled. He's not going to do it, though. Maybe Wormtongue going to go up here and use Backstab, but he's not level 6 yet, and not anywhere close to level 6, actually. So that's really not going to be an option. Saruman going up to level 2, able to use that Fireball ability, but now is going to have to fall back. The reinforcements have finally stopped for Isengard, as he just doesn't have the infrastructure to support it. It looks like he does have a couple of mines sprinkled around, but just not nearly enough to be able to keep up with the mass production of orcs here. On the right-hand side, somehow the Goblins managing to come back. These Mountain Giants, look at this one. He has basically no health. Able to survive to this time and able to take out several of the Hall of the King's Men here. Additional Wildmen here attacking. How the heck does he have Wildmen is my question. I have no idea how he has Wildmen. Goblins cannot build Wildmen. Is there something on the map here that... Or they... I'm so confused. Nevertheless, they're gone now, so I can stop being confused, I suppose. And once again, Isengard going to be able to muster up a couple of forces here. Reaper finally using that cripple shot and Lurtz to go ahead and focus down MauHuR Sauron. This is a great move. Lurtz focusing him as well. And with that, MauHuR Sauron is going, I believe, to be killed. Yes, he is, and that's 450 bonus resources for the Isengard player. And with that, I think he's going to be able to hold off this attack quite easily. Finally getting the surround on those Mountain Giants. We do have Rogash out now for Agmar. A couple of Snow Trolls as well. Azog able to make it out of there up to level 9. The Goblin King finally out as well. Just needs to back it up with a couple of units. Trying to get out some Fire Drakes, which is a great choice, but at this stage of the game, it might be too little, too late. As even though Agmar has lost several of the Hall of the King's Men, he does have the Troll and Wolf Den, which is I believe already been upgraded. Yes, it's been upgraded once, so he has those Snow Trolls. And going to be doing a huge attack here. However, the Watcher comes out for the Goblins, and that was his ace in the hole in order to deal with this attack. These Snow Trolls have so much health, though. So even the Watcher able to take out the Gundabad warriors. But the Fire Drakes might be able to clean up the Snow Trolls, but not before they're going to lose a mine here. And this guy is going to fall down as well. Goblin King needs to actually engage these units. He needs the experience. Of course, when he gets to level 10, that Call from the Deep, an extremely, extremely powerful ability. Rogash still alive. Of course, Rogash, a powerful hero to deal with. For when the enemy has a lot of units, AOE spells. However, he's like broken on healing. He absolutely cannot heal, so it's basically just best to like let Rogash die if he has little health, because it's almost cheaper and more efficient to rebuild him for the cost than it is to actually try and let him heal. Isengard continuing to move out here from the bottom. This is an intense 2v2 here, as both of these, or as basically everyone is still alive, and we are getting into the late game. Let's go ahead and see some PowerPoint spells here. Oh, that's how he has the Wildman. He does have the summon ability. I completely forgot the goblins had that ability. Looks like Agmar here has gone for almost all the 5 spells, does have the Frozen Land, but has not gone for those higher units. MauHuR actually went for Rock Drop. I must have missed where he placed it, maybe to deal with a huge attacking force. So at this point, we're just going to have a couple of Watchers and that Rock Drop. Of course, with the Rock Drop tree skill being used by Mordor here, we could see a Balrog. He's only at 1 power point right now, though, so he needs 24 more before he can actually get up to that Balrog. And I forget the final tree for the goblins there. Maybe a Summon Dragon ability, I believe, is what they were waiting for. But Isengard here has leveled up his troops, so with all that extra money he's been making, he's going to get that level up here. And I don't know what that was, possibly a Saruman's ability. But these troops are looking extremely terrifying right outside of the base of Mau here. And you can see him frantically building another expansion on his fortress, trying to rebuild infrastructure in the back here. Does have his siege workshop up, and Saruman, able to use that fireball ability, takes out more troops for Mordor here. And Mordor looking to be in a lot of trouble. I thought Mordor would have this. He's had so many troops the whole game, but he's going to lose his siege workshop there as well. There are snow trolls in here from Agmar. The Goblin player realizing, hey, I need to either attack or help my friend out here. He is going to go launch an attack. Hwaldir actually focusing down the Goblin King here. The Goblin King, or not the Goblin King, but Azog. Azog needs to forget Rogash and go for Hwaldir, I think. But he will go ahead and kill off Rogash. That's a nice win. And now needs to focus down Hwaldir if possible. These mountain giants doing so much damage in the back. He's trying to focus them down. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Isengard now surrounding the fortress. Mordor's fortress has taken a decent amount of damage here, about half health. It is in the yellow. Is Lurt still alive in here? These troops, Uruk-hai, are almost up to level 5. More Warg Riders in the back. He's completely cleared out all of these farms along the back side here, and Mordor in a ton of trouble here. What he needs maybe is a Nazgul, of course. Actually, with so many X-Rays out, he's actually going to retreat here. I don't think this is the right idea. I think he can win it here. I don't know why he is retreating. These units definitely need to stay and fight. He's going to be giving Mordor a huge chance here to come back. And I think, this Watcher expansion does provide fear, or send out fear waves, and that is going to be crippling some of these units. These Warg Riders be able to take out an additional Orc Pit there. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, though, with all of the heroes gone, the Goblins have actually caught up and are going to be focusing down the fortress here, actually focusing down the King's Hall here first, now going to be refocusing his attention on the fortress. And I think Agmar is in a lot of trouble. Dragon throwing down a beacon saying, hey, I need help with these mountain giants. But his partner at this point is pinned up in his base, and with that, the Goblin Fortress is going to fall. Does he have a builder out on the field? I remember he lost one earlier. There are several Fire Drakes over here as well for the Goblin player, and I think somehow, someway, the Boob has done it. Azog now running. It looks like the Goblin King will fall. Rogash managing to get back out here, but is it going to be enough? I don't think so. I don't even see a builder here. And with that, it looks like Isengard going to be refocusing his strategy to go after the Boob instead. Somehow here, the Boob has managed to come back and hold off that early attack and hold off all the early damage. to go ahead and take out his opponent. And most importantly, Mordor able to hold off that attack by Isengard. I think Isengard there making a mistake, backing out. I don't know why, but perhaps scared he just couldn't win. But he absolutely needed to take out the Mordor fortress there, because it is now basically a 1-on-2. There is a couple units remaining for the dragon, but or dragon's bow, but I just don't think he actually has. Doesn't he have an additional builder on the back here side? Looks like these fire drakes are attempting to look for one. Actually might be able to take out this furnace. That would be a great win, but it's level 3, so I don't think that they're going to be able to deal enough damage here to it. And I believe that furnace will survive. Might lose a couple of troops here to these fire drakes. Nothing he can't handle. Now Rogash, aligned with the troops of Isengard here, might be trying to make another final push on the Fortress of Mordor. However, Mordor does have an additional builder. He is over here, so he would not be out of the game. Could rebuild his fortress if he needed to. A couple of Isengard troops going to be falling here as they mistakenly engage the troops right in front of the Goblin Fortress. And these Isengard troops just a little confused about what to do. There is still a decent amount of troops on the field for Eggman. However, all he has, I believe, is this Wolf and Trolls Den and no builder. I don't think he has anything over here. I'm trying to look. It doesn't always show up on the map. The game is a little bit broken that way, but I don't see anything else for him. And yes, somehow Isengard needs to make this happen, but he's taking so long. I don't know what he's waiting for. He doesn't really have any more troops on the way. They're just standing back here. And this is giving the Goblin player way too much time. He's able to get back out the Goblin King. Azog is probably back out on the field as well, if not healing somewhere. And cleaning up additional more troops here in the front of his fortress. And Isengard finally... ProReaper might finally be moving out here. No, actually he's going to be retreating. So looks like he's just going to be building up his fortress, perhaps realizing that, hey, this might be an unwinnable battle at this point, or I need to make a stand and then make a counter push as my only option. However, what he does is leaves his opponent completely vulnerable, and with that, Mordor is going to throw down the Balrog. And if he can focus down this Wolf and Troll Den, that is going to be it. All he has remaining is the Hall of the King's Men, and Dragon's Bow has been defeated. As you can see, his troops there no longer have the will to fight, and they will go ahead and fall. Now ProReaper realizing that, oh my gosh, I need to move. My ally has been defeated. He can do nothing to help me. And pushing forward, however, the Balrog here making his way across the map. Going to be focusing down that fortress here. Won't be able to get the fortress down, but will be able to deal significant damage to the infrastructure around here. And as you can see, Isengard is easily going to win this battle against Mordor here. But I just don't know why he's held off attacking so long. Lurt's actually moving back here. Or not Lurt's, Wormtongue. And another Fire Breath is going to deal significant damage to a few more buildings. Looks like he's going to use the leap ability here. Loses his builder, and I think the boob here. Oh, this Balrog is the boobs. So what? How far is Mordor? It's only at 10. Okay, so the boob actually able to use to use his power points by destroying that fortress to summon the Balrog to finish him off. I thought that was Mordor's for some reason, and oh my goodness, this fortress is so upgraded here. These battering rams are going to be able to get in close enough here to start dealing damage. The Watcher Tower expansion, they're trying to scare someone away. Isengard easily has this, though. We do have a rock drop going down in an attempt to deal with the... it looks like he is actually going to manage to take out those battering rams there, but actually deals significant damage to his fortress in the process. That was a little too close for comfort. And I think Saruman could probably focus this fortress down pretty easily himself. Finally, the Balrog being dispatched here, but at this point, too little too late. Mountain Giants now showing up to focus down the fortress, and Mordor's fortress is going to fall here. So Isengard does have a small chance, but I don't know. He's still working on these units while he's losing major parts of his base here. These Fire Drakes and Azog dealing a significant damage. Azog needs to focus down, I don't know. Look, there's so many battering rams back here. He's going to focus down the Furnace here. And he's just losing too much infrastructure, in my opinion. He does have a lot of it, though. I don't know. I just don't think he has enough mines anymore to produce out of all of this. He's not going to have enough money. And even if Azog goes down, have the goblins rebuilt. He's actually not building any. No, he does have a. No, Mordor has a ton of units up here. So Mordor, of course, again, not defeated, does have additional mines and builders. Might be considering rebuilding that fortress somewhere. In the center, somehow I've neglected this whole game, the Signal Fire does belong to the Mordor player, which of course is useless right now because he cannot use powers without his fortress. So it is basically a 1 versus 1 right now. However, maybe it's like a 1.5 versus 1, as Mordor does have some buildings remaining on the field. Looks like Lurt's going to be finding a couple of these buildings up to the top left here. And his fortress is going to stand for now. How close is Isengard to his 25 power? Looks like he is almost there, 2 power points away from going up to 25. And with that, he's going to be moving out. I guess he's going to be trying to launch an attack on the goblins. Somehow, some way, Isengard is still in this game. Even after having lost his partner quite a long time ago, he's able to take out Mordor, able to launch that attack with those battering rams, and going to be building an additional clan steading up here. It's an interesting place. I think that's to launch easy counterattacks, though. And do we have Drogoth the Dragonlord? That is what the goblins have been saving up for. The $5,000 hero is out on the field, and the Watcher in the back pocket here of whose is this? This is Reaper's. Actually dealing some damage to his own troops. Needed to throw that down a little bit earlier, but able to take out the remaining majority of the troops for Mordor, and he's going to be making his way around the backside now. If he gets any damage on these mines, he's going to go to 25 power points. He does have the Dragon Spell, and I think he just used it. Where did he use it? I don't know where he used it. Right here. Comes in the Flying Dragon, taking out a ton of buildings. And this dragon is taking a ton of damage as it flies over. But it's not going to matter. He's already launched his Fire Breath attack and actually able to escape out of there with full health, or not full health, but able to escape out of there alive. And with that, the goblins seeming to be in a lot of trouble. Drogoth's still out on the field though, and Drogoth going to be able to clean up this, clean up these units. I mean, Lurtz can use the cripple shot on him, but I'm not sure how much good it'll do because he really can't do any damage to him in the air. I mean, Lurtz is basically his only ranged unit here. I mean, he has some Wildman Axe throwers, but it's not nearly going to be enough. Shelob out for the Goblin players as well. Really not the best hero, in my opinion, but hey, if you have the money, you might as well go for those high-profile units. And Drogoth actually taking some damage here. Has been focused down and might actually go down here if Lurtz focuses him. He is going to die. I don't know why he took so much damage, but he somehow did. And Isengard here, able to hold on, able to... Looks like he's crippled the Goblin King as well. Is Lurtz still alive, though? Yes, he is. Shelob now in a lot of power. I wonder if Wormtongue was able to use his backstab ability on Drogoth. Is that even possible? I'm not sure. You know what? He might have used Corrode Allegiance to gain control of Drogoth. I'm really not sure what happened there. But Drogoth has been destroyed. That is the most important part. The Goblin King now up to level... What? Time remaining. Oh, the Goblin King has been taken over. And so the Goblin King is now on the side of Isengard. And Isengard able to push it back here. Mordor needs to... Looks like he's just going to be building more Orc Pits. Would have liked to see him build an additional fortress. They might be playing with the rule of no fortress rebuilding, but... Usually the rule is just no fortress spamming, not no fortress rebuilding. This game is still going on. Isengard going to be pulling back for now. Does have an additional set of troops though at the ready. Does have several buildings up here now. Going to be reducing. Now Mordor does have a couple of mines here in the upper left and the upper right. Does have basically the corners of the top map. So he is still producing money, just not a lot. So he is able to get out of some of his units. These battering rams just basically giving up, just realizing, hey, we're never going to make it to that fortress. No point. Additional battering rams on the way. Looks like Isengard is going to grab this away from Mordor, which is going to be a great choice. Now, one thing he does have to be wary of is that Balrog, which can be an absolute game changer here. And I think if he can get this attack in before that Balrog is able to be respawned, this is going to be a victory for Isengard, but he needs to do it here. He needs to do it now. And I think he has... Does he have enough troops here? I just don't think he has enough troops here. Able to take out, one of Mordor's structures here. Does see the final Mordor structure. Unless... No, he does have one over here, and his builder, of course, is still alive. So Mordor going to be okay here for a little bit. Shelob actually doing a lot of damage here. Saruman attempting to do what damage he can. But there's just too many ranged attacks here. And I think Wormtongue here needed to use that ability on Shelob. Don't know what he was waiting for there. And I think he's going to have to back out here. Lurt's doing a lot of damage to the Goblin King, but gets stung there and is going to be poisoned as he takes damage and actually goes down to Shelob there. So she grabs a couple of levels as she munches on Lurtz. But the goblins here are still pinned to the very back of their base. So even if they hold us out, they have no map control. Looks like he's finally expanding to the lower right-hand side with some mines. But Isengard just has the entire left side of the field littered with mines, littered with structures, and he's just mass producing as many units as he can, slowly and meticulously pushing back the goblins farther and farther into the corner, slowly taking out their infrastructure, slowly putting them out of this game. Yes, he has the heroes out, but can he muster up the troops to support those heroes? And now these wildmen upgraded with... I've never seen armor for wildmen before. It's so ridiculous. So he is going to be putting armor on these wildmen and the flame torches. And I think he's spotted these mines over here, so he's going to begin to work those down. And these are going to have to be canceled because this is resources being stolen. Those +1s are the stolen resources there. And yeah, he's going to be able to take out several of these mines over here as he does realize that is happening now. Now Mordor actually launching an attack here, trying to reclaim his old territory, is instead going to run into a lot of troops here. And these upgraded pikemen are going to be able to easily take out the Goblin King. Drogoth is back out on the field. I think a good choice at this point. Able to take out a couple of units there. And is he actually going to have enough here? The Goblin King goes down. Shelob in a little bit of trouble. However, she is under the control of Wormtongue at the moment. And did she just heal? I don't know how he just got healed. Maybe he was just healing after a little bit of time there. I didn't think Shelob had a heal ability. And Drogoth once again going down. I don't know how he is taking that damage. Maybe Shelob with the poison stinger was turned and hit Drogoth. That might have been it right there. So with that, Drogoth once again falls, and I think that is just too expensive of a unit, and the enemy heroes are too effective at taking it out. The Drogoth might not be the answer right now. Maybe some more mountain giants, maybe some... I don't know what the goblins can do at this point. Maybe launching a ton, maybe just building a ton of goblins and launching, counterattacks all over the map. I'm really not sure what the answer is here. We do have a Watcher, looks like over here, as he is attempting to take out these this hidden expansion, I guess, to the north here. this forward command post, and this worm and the watch are able to deal a lot of damage here. We do have the dragon back up, almost back up for Isengard, but at the same time we have the Balrog almost up for the goblins. This game is extremely, extremely close here. Where is the Balrog going to be summoned? Is it going to be enough to actually take out Isengard here? And is he going to summon it near the base or main base of Isengard, or over here, or is he going to wait for troops? That is going to be the question. Actually, I want to go to his view so I can see when he's going to summon it. He has already summoned it, and it is going to be right here on top of the Isengard troops. So with that, the Balrog is slowly moving out to start to deal damage to some of the structures here. Whips that mine, and that crumbles away almost instantly. Balrog using his flight ability to move across the battlefield very quickly. Might get in a little too close to the fortress here, has taken a lot of damage, and you can lose the Balrog before he times out. But able to take out the clan standing here, attempting to take this out as quickly as he can. Isengard attempting to rebuild. Disagree with that move right there. He's taking way too much damage. He's going to lose this Balrog before he can even get off his flame attack. And can he get off the flame attack? He's just basically focusing down the tower here. Needs to get out of there, but I think he's going to lose him. And yeah, that Balrog is going to go down as the Goblin player not paying attention. But ProReaper, in the end, realizing he's lost too much, goes ahead and leaves the game. He lost his base to the north as well, and even though he was able to take out that Balrog, feeling like he could not actually come all the way back and win. So a great game there by the top players, Mordor and the Goblins, Boob and Mau, able to barely defeat ProReaper and his ally, who the Angmar ally, I forget his name at the moment, but Dragon's Bow. So great game there, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I have more games coming up. I've played several games on Game Ranger recently, and met some people there as well who are going to be sending me some more pro replays. So please look forward to those, as they hopefully will be coming out here in the days and weeks to come. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Master Cloud signing out.